Part 2 of Chapter 6, called The Yoga of Meditation. Krishna speaks. Now that he holds it, he knows this treasure above all others. Faith so certain shall never be shaken by heaviest sorrow. To achieve this certainty is to know the real meaning of the word yoga. It is the breaking of contact with pain. You must practice this yoga resolutely, without losing heart. Renounce all your desires forever. They spring from willfulness. Use your discrimination to restrain the whole pack of the scattering senses. Patiently, little by little, a man must free himself from all mental distractions with the aid of the intelligent will. He must fix his mind upon the Atman and never think of anything else. No matter where the restless and the unquiet mind wanders, it must be drawn back and made to submit to the Atman only. Utterly quiet, made clean of passion, the mind of the yogi knows that Brahman, his bliss, is the highest. Released from evil, his mind is constant in contemplation. The way is easy. Brahman has touched him. That bliss is boundless. His heart is with Brahman. His eye in all things sees only Brahman, equally present. Knows his own Atman in every creature and all creation within that Atman. That yogi sees me in all things and all things within me. He never loses sight of me, nor I of him. He is established in union with me and worships me devoutly in all beings. That yogi abides in me, no matter what his mode of life, who burns with the bliss and suffers the sorrow of every creature within his own heart, making his own each bliss and each sorrow. Him I hold highest of all the yogis. Then Arjuna speaks. Krishna, you describe this life of yoga as a life of union with Brahman, but I do not see how this can be permanent. The mind is so very restless. Restless man's mind is, so strongly shaken in the grip of the senses, gross and grown hard with stubborn desire for what is worldly. How shall he tame it? Truly, I think the wind is no wilder. Sri Krishna answers, yes, Arjuna, the mind is restless, no doubt, and hard to subdue, but it can be brought under control by constant practice and by the exercise of dispassion. Certainly, if a man has no control over his ego, he will find this yoga difficult to master. But a self-controlled man can master it if he struggles hard and uses the right means. Then Arjuna asks, suppose a man has faith but does not struggle hard enough. His mind wanders away from the practice of yoga, and he fails to reach perfection. What will become of him then? When a man goes astray from the path of Brahman, he has missed both lives, the worldly and the spiritual. He has no support anywhere. Is he not lost, as a broken cloud is lost in the sky? This is the doubt that troubles me, Krishna, and only you can altogether remove it from my mind. Let me hear your answer. Sri Krishna answers, "No, my son, that man is not lost, either in this world or the next. No one who seeks Brahman ever comes to an evil end. Even if a man falls away from the practice of yoga, he will still win the heaven of the doers of good deeds and dwell there many long years. After that, he will be reborn into the home of pure and prosperous parents. He may even be born into a family of illumined yogis. But such a birth in this world is more difficult to obtain. He will then regain that spiritual discernment which he acquired in his former body, and so will strive harder than ever for perfection. Because of his practices in the previous life, he will be driven on toward union with Brahman, even in spite of himself. For the man who has once asked the way to Brahman goes further than any mere fulfiller of Vedic rituals. By struggling hard and cleansing himself of all impurities, that yogi will move gradually toward perfection through many births and reach the highest goal at last. Great is that yogi who seeks to be with Brahman, greater than those who mortify the body, greater than the learned, greater than the doers of good deeds. Therefore, Arjuna, become a yogi. He gives me all his heart. He worships me in faith and love. That yogi, above every other, I call my very own." And that is the end of chapter 6.